Right, let's get the second round underway here at the opening women's series event of the weekend at Barnsley Metrodome. And our first chance to see Fallon Sherrock in action. The Queen of the Palace, the woman who reached a PDC final. Not just winning a game or two, reaching the final in Copenhagen. And to be honest, for large sections of that final, it looked like she had the beating of mighty Michael van Gerwen. Fallon does sit at the top of the order of merits for the women's series at the minute. We know she's going to be at the Grand Slam. She's looking very good for the World Championship. And she back it up this weekend against Lorraine Hyde, who has thrown some decent stuff in the first women's series weekend. That is not a decent dart, but she does come here having won a title 70 in the WDF system just a matter of days ago.
Yeah, Hyde winning the British Classic just last weekend in Bridlington. 60. Beat Denise Cassidy in the final after seeing off Anastasia Dobromislova in the semis. And we may well see Anastasia next here on the live stream. It'll be her or Marlene Badger up against Sarah Roberts or Mikuru Suzuki. We're seeing all the big names early in the action this afternoon.
There we go. Fallon Sherrock fires in a 180 in the very first leg of this contest.
Yeah, wasting little time. We saw one from 60. Lisa Ashton in the previous match. Are we going to see a collision course between that pair yet again? They met in 4 of the 6 finals in Milton Keynes last month.
131.
Won 3 titles each. And by the events 1 to 6, the winner of that order of merit getting a spot at the Grand Slam, and then the winner of the order of merit after events 7 to 12 this weekend will take the other one.
52.
So Fallon's already there.
Game shot.
And she's already there in terms of winning this leg. That is a 16-darter for Fallon Sherrock. Impressive start. 180 chucked in there for good measure as well.
Lorraine Hyde is in the top 12 in that order of merit from the first 6 events, so she did produce some decent stuff in Milton Keynes, and as we mentioned, went on to win that British Classic event, which Fallon Sherrock was in. Lost a semi-final to Sherrock at the Women's Series.
140.
Yeah, pretty heavy defeat, wasn't it? 5-1. Mid-70s average from Lorraine, competitive, but Fallon Sherrock averaging in the 90s in that particular game.
140.
And she's threatening to do the same here.
Yeah, also lost a quarter-final to Dieter Hedman that weekend. Still only 3 women to have won these events so far.
60.
The aforementioned Ashton, Fallon Sherrock in action here, and Hedman, who, by virtue of her victory last year, made it through
140.
Proper darts from Hyde and Sherrock.
58.
Well, there'll be a lot of players coming here looking at Fallon Sherrock and Lisa Ashton after the first weekend thinking, well, this is the Fallon and Lisa show. They're the ones who are knocking lumps out of each other. It's a carve-up between them. But somebody like Lorraine Hyde, who comes here having won that title just last week, somebody like Dieter, who's won titles for decades and decades and decades. Anastasia, who's a multiple world champion herself. They'll feel like they can have a real say in what goes on here, get that Grand Slam spot at least.
$134.
Yeah, absolutely. Results coming in thick and fast here at the Women's Series. Trina Gulliver is through to the last 32.
95.
Just to confirm, this match is from the last 32 between Sherrock and Hyde.
140. $100.
But we've seen Anastasia Dobromislova go through with a 91 average. Sherrock over 100 going into this leg.
53.
Well, the 101 was good from Lorraine Hyde. This would be even better. Oh, behave yourself. Double 18 for a 147. Oh, drags it down. Great effort.
Game shot.
And Sherrock ensures that she doesn't get a go. At double after that one. Threatened by Hyde there, but Fallon Sherrock just bats it away.
100.
Is very much a player that thrives under pressure, Fallon Sherrock. One of the best mentalities I've seen in any darts player.
47.
Absolutely. I know that. Look, you go and speak to any of the guys who play in some of the more vociferous atmospheres that
100.
we have in PDC darts, and some of them, like, yeah, they don't like being booed, they don't like being jeered or whatever, but even when they're doing it to their opponent, it can be very difficult to deal with. You can talk to some of the German lads who play on the Euro Tour. When the crowd are barracking their opponent, it's an enormous different kind of pressure, and Fallon Sherrock dealt with that at the World Championship
140.
when she won those games and made history. And then there was almost none of that in Copenhagen, where it was just about the game of darts, and she still beat Dimitri
100.
van den Berg. She still nearly beat MVG.
Her boo boys have existed almost exclusively, unfortunately,
40.
on social media. Women's series, Sherrock turning on the style and having to. With Lorraine Hyde threatening big finishes, and then Fallon Sherrock producing one. The second ton-topping checkout of this match.
100.
A big checkout in every sense for Fallon Sherrock.
Fallon Sherrock is averaging more than 100 and is 3-1 up in this game. But Lorraine Hyde has missed doubles in the last two legs. It could be 3-1 the other way. Astonishingly. 180 for Fallon. Again.
100.
This is a superb contest. In terms of combined averages, we might be right up there in the best we've seen in the women's series.
81.
Because Fallon Sherrock is averaging over a ton. Lorraine Hyde is averaging around the 90 mark. Top quality stuff from the pair.
Or average